Hi guys, so I'm going to show you how to start recording in the style of Pablo Thecaudro. So the first thing I have is I've got Photoshop open. I've got a selection of images here just on the right hand side, various compositions, some different angles, some slightly close up shots. So again, it's nice to have a variety and you can see what works. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to File, New, and I'm going to open up an A4 document. You can just drag your photo in, that is entirely up to you, but just for these purposes I have an A4 document. I am going to choose my first image and I am going to just make this a little bit bigger. And again, I play around with the size and the images that I'm layering over each other. Again, as I go, I'll see what works and what doesn't. I'm going to take a few in, so I'm going to take 2 or 3 images in to begin with. Now, depending on the look that you want to go for, you might, I'll show you here, so you can see you can have 2 images layered up where perhaps I've removed a section of my model, I might have removed her face entirely, and it's creating that illusion of having multiple layers, multiple images underneath. Again, it might be even creating a border with one of those images. You can do it really quite easily using the eraser tool, which I'll show you how to do. So I have this image in here, so say for example I want to remove the jacket and have that shown through. All I am going to do, if I'm happy with my image kind of as it is in the size, I'm going to select all, copy and paste, so that's Command A, Command C, Command V, so that if anything kind of goes wrong and I need to restart, then I can. You can either do this using a layer mask, or I'm just going to go straight in with the eraser tool. And the first thing I will do is create a little border with my jacket. So I'm not going all the way up to the edge. I am creating a border as we go. Now it is entirely up to you how thick or thin you want your border to be. You can make that decision. So I've taken the visibility away of my layers underneath so that the white is shown through and I can see how thick that section is going to be. So you can either rub it out entirely, all the way up to the edge if you wish, or you can do what I have done here and I'm creating a kind of border effect with my jacket. I'm going to make my brush that a little bit bigger to repeat this section in here. And again, obviously you can spend a lot more time on it than I am. You might even want to use the lasso tool. And you can drag that up and round. You can see if you have a little bit of time. Again, it depends on what you feel most comfortable with using. And I can cut that out. I can see my image underneath here. Now if I want to have more of an interesting image here, I just grab my correct layer, make sure you've selected the correct one, and I can pull it down. Again, I might cut out another section here, etc. I might leave it as it is here, and I might end up erasing the face of my model here. So again, I'm going to duplicate this just to show you the 2 different ways in which you can do it. Again, be really creative in the areas that you select. That's one thing I would really recommend, is experimenting with where you are cutting out or where you are rubbing out. So say I'm going to go around the face, down to the neck. Again, obviously you're going to spend a lot more time on this than what I am here. You can be really precise with your eraser. If you were to zoom in, make it a little bit smaller. Again, I can either use the eraser tool or I might use the lasso tool to cut around that. Again, with each step I would recommend that you duplicate your layer, again in case you want to go back any of the steps. I would recommend, if you're going to remove an area of the model's face, have another section where perhaps your model's face is kind of coming in from behind. Can create a really interesting image. So again, just using my eraser tool, change the size. I can be much more precise in terms of what I am rubbing out. And you get that idea. Again, might even be that I make both of these images much bigger to take up more of my frame. And you can have something that looks like that. Again, I've experimented with a few different ways of doing it in here. So for example, I had initially started with this image here. Got this image here. I've popped this one over and I've rubbed out the hand. Then popped another over again and rubbed out the majority of our body, so you can actually see I've got 1, 2, 3 images here. And then I wanted to create a border, so you can do what I have previously done here, and I've left that kind of gap so that the models close at my border. Or with this example here, I have used the paintbrush tool and I have drawn round quite messily in this example, but again, you get that idea. So you can really experiment with the layering of different images. It can be something as simple as that, where I've rubbed out the model's face here and popped one underneath. So experiment with lots of different angles, different compositions and different ways and sections of rubbing out.